a bloody day. It never goes, does it, when you're grieving through a lost family member? Well, housing company, national one in UK, yet again. An employee, yet again. Presumption being made. Obviously, when you're renting in UK and disabled woman and you use medical equipment, well, they haven't repaired my flat, my room, employees, certain area, and this housing employee that I pay towards her wages. Well, there was an presumption being made about a second reminder. I never even had a first reminder, by the way. There's just their tactics. This has been going on before. Well, I've been trying to get a remedy for the lawful reasonable adjustments disabled individual. Aids and attachments as well. It's been going on for years. But this individual, what she does, she tastes the fire alarm at the end of last month. And I know who she is because I got a previous letter. Hi. This previous letter is dated even last year. I won't say who it is because she's just constant target harassment, and in my area, UK, they class it, people work online, obviously work from home, and it's just, they don't have a particular office space anymore. It's like a virtual office, but they work at home and log in on protocol, whatever it is, they use a computer system. Well, she's made again a such assumption, like she does. And unless you rebut it, a full rebuttal or assumption being made. And this is a generalized, computerized letter. But when she's, if you don't respond in a certain time, if you don't know about contract law and how it's meant to work, a lot of people around here don't like her, but there's a reason, but I'm not going to go into that personally. But she's making, when you live in flats, right, and I'm the only one like this, and so it's targeted at me, okay? Common sense tells you I can't even use the communal doors safely because they don't bloody repair them and a fire door safety, and that's been reported a long time ago in the block of flats where I live. No one else in my area bothers to, they're all busy at work and able-bodied people. So, of course, I'm the only one less able-bodied, wheelchair dependent full time. So, of course, they seem as easy to target, do they? Well, this is unlawful. I mean, this is, if you don't know about your lawful rights from protection from harassment, it's Statute Law 1997 from if you rent social housing or private rent, protection from harassment from landlord. And they look it up online and just look at it if you like, read it, download, whatever. Watch videos on it, protection, because I've got video of it, and I've had to study it last year before what happened. The news just did my mum. This is just a physical world we live on, and it's just a physical another issue. And it's all a tactic of psychological, like tactics or everything I'm dealing with is all psychological pressure to which you're going through so much already personally, and it's just another tactic. So you could say she's just doing the job, fine, but you don't need to word such a things as this. How would any man or woman work in their job capacity as a housing employee? Well, in statute law, they call it housing officer. Please remove items inside your flat. So obviously, I know this is common sense. All communal areas to be cleared of all items, which obviously there's nothing of mine in communal areas. And then including doormats. Well, where's the doormats? There's none outside my door in a communal area. Which may be which may, the word may, there's no proven evidence yet, because nothing's like that's happened all these years I've been here, may be a trip hazard in the event of a fire. Okay, so obviously fires, health and safety, that might have come up what happened, God forbid, to those people in London, in the UK. Can't remember now what it's called right now. So she says, please, by all means you can ask, but common sense for my safety anyway, remove these two inside your own home, in your flat. To keep all fire doors closed at all times. Well, I cannot keep it permanently closed when I need to go through one-handed in a wheelchair. Oh, it's way it's so pathetically worded. Thank you for your cooperation in the matter. The email will go off with the head office. This will be co-copied in to one of the directors, and stating that the conditional acceptance of the offer, my counterclaim offer, could you kindly provide the evidence of the subject assumption being made that there's proof that this is a rug or a doormat. She's used the doormat. If you look at what definition of that is legalese word in a Black's Law Dictionary, 4th or 5th, you'll find out what that could mean. But anyway, in their terminology, I know what it means. So, of course, I don't want no trip hazards. So I've been extremely more conscious of that more than ever in my health deterioration. So, well, of course, my friends are too. But the hazard, the health and safety national housing standard in my home is the wet room. And the rest expected in my health and my home in this rest of this flat. And it's an audacity because the stage 2 complaint in the statutory system has gone through. They're not going to uphold nothing. It's how it works in the UK. You know? And especially if you've got medical disabilities. And they're treating you less favourably than able-bodied people. So the delicate wording for me, well, I've asked my friend to type this up today because I'm no fit state to any paperwork at the moment. It's just a simple couple of liners really on an email. All these, I suppose, officially 2010, now 2018, 8 years. I really don't want to live here anymore, but the way the system is makes it difficult. Well, one of these dated 16th of the 8th, 2017, without prejudice, it was sent. It was all about the door fixture when I first moved in. That was already taken off before I moved in and off at this place. And I wasn't as able-bodied then as I am now. So there isn't proof of any policy in the documentation to back up claims, you see. But I know from common sense, obviously, I mean, my friend's just checking around because I got medical equipment, you know, and those and all that element. The only problem I've got is bloody it's unreal. So there's certain things that's not of my doing, and I'm just doing this short stream really to say, well, basically, you don't get a bloody day and chance of grief when you die, mum. They know exactly. Well, that individual obviously doesn't check her bloody housing records correct, does she, on the computer? If she knows. Yeah, but she knows because I've seen her once in the public, off duty, and I can't say publicly anything. I'm not going to be accused of anything, as they like to do. And when they used to call this like overhead closure. So it's just going to get returned. And they call it building homes for independence and aberrations. If that's the case, the way she's worded the title, she's worded it to the trust estate. Trust, I mean, if you don't know much about trust or how it works, then that's a different subject another day. But this company is a head office in Newcastle upon Tyne, UK. And it's a standard computerized general letter that she's obviously typed up from home. And implied there's the postmark has come from, because on the actual letter, there's no, it's just an email and there's no postmark. The postmark comes from, like, claimed to be Peterborough, but there's no office. If there's a general office that was actually working, when you Google Earth it, it's actually closed, the location in UK, Peterborough. So, yeah, my mate would just, yeah, again, it's like when you report what's been the disability hate that's been going on as a call centre operator, and you have the evidence, the facts of what's gone on, video evidence. They're treating it as antisocial behaviour from the 5th of June 2018. And nobody will held accountable. They never do. And there's an app apparently to download. Do you know you can report antisocial behaviour via the Home Group Limited app? No, it's all computerized. You no longer get a human individual. And this is an IT produced that about that. So is this other one, recent one. So I'll go back to, you don't know anything about your rights, anyone else out there, go into shelters. United Kingdom is a charity called Shelter, about your rights. The Bar of Mental Health, well, they can just condemn this place and health and safety. In statute law, this is known as a house association, but it's actually a limited company in contract law. But there's never been a full disclosure in the first place, two-party waiting to sign contract in contract law. So in statute law, they call it tenancy. Unfortunately, when they're failing duty of care, and they have been constantly, over a year now, and all these key area employees work at home, and key, I think they call it central area as well, lie, yeah, I use the word lie because I've got the evidence of all the emails in the bag behind me. Of everything, they've even gone to other public sector employees in other areas I won't go into right now, making assumptions again. So this door picture, I was able to rebut, and I hold accountable. It's the same individual who has no clear training on what disability reasonable adjustments means. Equality Act 2010 is statute law, Disability Discrimination Act, I can't remember what year now, to offer for goods and services, yeah. So, again, you have like a female maintenance surveyor. I've had a couple of senior guys who are blocking their repairs unlawfully for my safety. They don't care about my safety, but they go on this angle. So it's what's happened in London, Nash in UK. I suppose a lot of, they're just covering their back for the insurance policy and fire risk assessment, aren't they? Especially in block flats. I don't know how it works with houses, but there was never ever overhead flat door closure here when I first moved in, so I actually rebut that. Then it was about my disabled car bay. Then it's about something else. Then it's something else. It never stopped, so of course it's all started up again, innit? So what caught my eye was about inside your home. Well, when I had all these occupational therapists, OT medical and occupation assessments before. All those mats had to be taken up then, so I knew all about that then. That's a long time ago. So, and the trip hazards. So the only mat, as long as you got rubber fixture type with special backing that sticks to the floor, well, our fitness house employee lives in another different land, you know, because if that men or women are working for these companies, they need some training. They need disability awareness training. You know, I know everyone's situation is different, but they need to be updated on the way they are worded the documentation. They're not thinking. It's generalized. And I've had to hold them accountable before for this. So, it gets me, right? There's damage outside in the hallway, not by me, but other people that live above me. They don't care. They don't care about the conditions of the ground floor level because they live upstairs. I do because I'm to try and get in and out. So that glass fire door is cracked. I've reported it last year. Nobody's come to amend it. Nobody's remended. They don't want to upkeep the communal areas outside as well. Talk about green colour. Green on black painted metal communal boundary of this whole area where I am. So this prime site, I suppose, and look at the financial asset side, its prime land is worth ages ago now. I think a couple of these, or one individual said to me, they have an opinion they could be trying to deliberately let the whole area go down, run down, and then want to try and sell off the land because it's prime site, or raise the cost of renting a place here. So everything's going up. I'd rather be in a place where I'm with some like-minded people in my situation. You try and tell me what my outcomes are and what I need in the long term now are different from. It's different other than here. And when one is limited mobility, like it's really, really hot at the moment, and you don't get the circulation of air. And even internal fans, noise is hell. They don't replace. They haven't even upgraded my kitchen. They blocked all that. Nothing's accessible for me. And if the wet room was repaired, you see that they had since all these emails and everything going on with this housing company employees. It's completely deliberate negligent. And I know what's behind it. So I've tried to move years ago, but anyone knows in the UK how the system works. You think how many people in temporary housing that on waiting list, and people in my situation too. Yeah. I mean, no matter what you're dealing with in public sector, they call it public sector in statute law, whatever you're subject dealing with, housing, healthcare, whatever it is, everything's in crisis financially. Everything's going privatisation even more than ever you can imagine. So yeah, time's limited. It's every little thing since what I saw yesterday. My mum. And what I know. Things more now. I don't care anymore. So somebody now said we'll go after this individual and say, well, thank you, you've got no evidence. What you're doing, peering through people's letterboxes. Yeah. It's like, what? That's how it reads. It could be wrong, it could be right, who knows? But this is how she's, the interpretation, she didn't realise it could be read that way. So obviously, common sense I've known for years not to have these type of mats anyway. I learnt that a long time ago, and they got disposed of safely. So it's just a generalised, but the way she's worded it to I know there's a guy, and I don't know if he's removed his mat outside opposite where I live, in the communal area. He'd never be there. He's a wheeling dealer, like a old school in UK, I mean, old TV programmes years ago. It used to be known as Downboy TV programmes. Wheeling dealers, that's what this guy is. See him in pubs in town. I've got a couple of people that know of him. And they see him about and how he deals, but dresses down like he's got nothing. For years he's allegedly played the system, and he wheels and deals, and in second-hand goods, well, it's antique stuff really. That's how and he's used his, allegedly, again, I put it that way, his state benefit system, shall we say it that way, to pay for these policies. He's cashed in now, so he's living the life of Riley. And there's genuine people that can't get what they need. So, unfortunately, we live in a world that isn't fair. There's never going to be the lawful, equal justice where it needs to be. And when you're ill already, and you're struggling with things already, and there's individuals that does not get it, you just look at Disabled People Against Cuts website, yeah, and you'll find there's so much going on with so many people in so many areas right now, United Kingdom. Yeah, so it's just a short one. I'm going to cut it off now. So, no doormats. Health and safety is common sense. Going to be a public location. They call it Peterborough, but it's not. I mean, this is even like I actually about my disabled bay, because it took me months to get the parking bay to repaint it, but the guy did not repaint. The mail in question that was used to repaint my disabled bay that I paid rent for only stuck down some markings, didn't paint it. And still they didn't repair the pole that's missing, metal pole. So I've got to go, God bless.